Oh, I didn't realize it was recording. All right, Kayla, this is yours. If I can get it to focus. Well, whatever. Okay, they're already shuffled. I'm going to cut them. This sums up your overall situation. So right now, you might feel a little crazy, not like in a bad way. The moon is just very much led by feelings, emotions, intuition, not a whole lot of logic going on there, or a clear path set out. It's just more guided by instinct. Also could be like feeling very overwhelmed with emotions. You know, the moon pulls the tides, and a lot of people feel it has a huge impact on our emotional state, and in turn our sanity, like hence the term lunacy and everything. But so basically this is just being very, in the positive way, very in touch with your emotions, in a possibly not so positive way, maybe allowing them to irrational, maybe allowing irrational feelings or thoughts to consume you to a point where the actions that you are taking in response to them may not necessarily be that logical. So anyway, what crosses you? This is something that affects that for better or for worse. So this particular brand of crazy is more specifically due to most likely romantic love. So of course, that throws hormones and brain chemicals and everything else in the mix, as well as what other factors might have you all up in your feelings. And again, this is very intuitive, so it's good. You are in touch with some kind of wisdom and knowledge, just not so much with the logical part. And love can further cloud your judgment, not necessarily implying that you're making bad decisions. This is just saying weighing very heavily on the emotional side, and the emotions in this situation are just so intense and so high that it may be difficult to separate them from some of the choices that you have at hand. And just like that overwhelming intensity could just be complicating things a little bit. Where this comes from, so at the foundation of this issue, just basically just not realizing you deserved anything. Looking at yourself and thinking, well, I mean, you can see she's got this beautiful dress on, but she's looking in the mirror like, I ain't shit, And she doesn't see what she has to offer. She doesn't see all the blessings that she has. She doesn't see how lucky she is, and she doesn't see what she has to give. So I think the reason, this is just my interpretation here, but the reason that something like this would grab you so dearly is perhaps this is the first reflection of you that you've seen in another person that validated your worth as a human. Maybe this is the first type of relationship, and again, I'm not making any assumptions, but where you felt that the person that you saw reflected in their eyes was somebody who was worth something, somebody who, like this person, which kind of shocked you because you're so used to seeing this person and having your partners affirm that person to you and convince you that that is who you were and that you weren't shit. And so that's where this developed from, because, I mean, that's gotta be a more reassuring feeling. And your recent past, as it pertains to this situation, there along came a man. Now, this is a man who, he may not be overly emotional. On the outside, he might not, give a lot of hugs and kisses or say a lot of complimentary things. I mean, he might, but his way of showing love is, hold on one second, I have to pause this. Sorry, the kids were making noise. Anyway, so this is a person that he would show his love more by trying to make sure that you're provided for and taken care of. It doesn't mean that he's not physically affectionate or sweet with his words, but you're more likely to see acts of affection from this person as, hey, I got you a new outfit. Have you eaten yet? Here, take my coat. That type of thing. They want to make sure that your material needs are taken care of. And so they might not necessarily have a ton. This isn't necessarily saying some rich guy that's paying for everything. They just want to look after your well-being because they care about you. In your near future, as it pertains to this situation, you may either encounter either a different person altogether, or this could be an aspect of yourself. However, since it's male, not saying that, not ruling it out, if it doesn't resonate with you as somebody that you know, then most likely you will encounter this aspect in yourself in the near future. This is a masculine energy. So masculine, difference between masculine and feminine is just basically a feminine is more receptive. Things come to it. And masculine is a little more assertive. It goes after what it wants. And from knowing you, you know that is very possible. Anyways, so near future, you encounter either a person like this or that aspect of yourself where if it's a man, he would be somebody who's mature. Summer is emotion. So it is like love and beauty and joy and all that. So he's very in touch with his emotions, but not like to the point where he lets them carry him away, like you might be right here. But he doesn't let them cloud his judgment. He doesn't go completely based on what he's feeling in this moment. He has the knowledge and the wisdom from his life experience to know that there's got to be more to making a decision than just how you feel. But he is also very well aware of how he feels, very emotionally intelligent, in touch with what brings him happiness and what just doesn't feel right. And this isn't necessarily in a romantic way, just as this isn't necessarily, but in your near future, you may encounter somebody like that who maybe might help you by providing an example of how to feel your feelings, but not to be drowned by them. So he might provide maybe even some guidance or to show you that, you can feel everything, however, still kind of organize your priorities and make your decisions based on a few other factors as well. The best thing that you have going for you in this situation is that you have finally ended this painful cycle. There was something that you had gone through, and there were some sorrowful lessons to learn. They were worth it, and I think that, being on the end of it, you probably can look back and agree, but that doesn't mean it was any less difficult. But the best thing you have going for you is you are finally seeing that wrap up and close, so you can get ready to start your next cycle and open the next chapter. At this completion part, it is kind of like, I have taken pretty much all I can take. It's felt like one blow after another. And so at this point in time, you may not yet be feeling victorious or happy about it being over because you don't really know for sure yet, but I can assure you that that is the case, and you may take a long time to heal, but the healing can begin. You, in this situation, you're weighing a few different options. Now it's summer, we've got the emotion and happiness again. But this is more like an indecisive card. Again, it's not in a bad way. You're just weighing a few different options. You're not really sure which direction you want to go right now. You're contemplating a few different things, which is fine. And this card is totally fine, and it means that you see possibilities in multiple different places, which gives you just more chance of having success. So that's a good thing. The danger with this card, though, is to spend all this time contemplating each decision and not actually making one. And the longer that you take to make a decision, the less decisions and options you'll have available to you by the time you get to that. In your environment, as it pertains to this situation, so this would be not you, but maybe somebody that's close to you, at least somebody that is not necessarily that's close to you like as a friend, but somebody who you know that is impacting this situation somehow. They may have pulled back a little bit. Don't take it personally. This person has to get in touch with themselves. They have a lot to think about. A lot of things have happened, and they really want to put those things together in their mind and analyze each one, figure out what it means, figure out what they can learn from the experiences that they just had so they can better inform their decisions moving forward. So they're just taking a break. They're on pause. They have to step back so that they can assess the situation so far. So if it seems like, this person has just disappeared off the face of the earth, know that it wasn't anything to do with you. It was just a thing that they did for their own personal benefit. Your hopes or fears as it comes to this situation. Yeah, you really hope that you don't get jaded. And you also hope that with all the stress of whatever you might have to deal with, or even the depression, she's, not too happy. She's, blah, whatever. Like, what is, to her, she's her face. What's the point? Like, whatever. There's nothing out there for me. I mean, she's drank all the drinks and she's, partied all the party, whatever. Like, this is that card. She's had all the beers and she smoked all the joints. So what? Like, there's nothing, she doesn't feel that there's really anything out there for her right now. So she shuts down. But there still is joy and love to be had, not only that she can receive, but that she's expected to give. And if she shuts down like this, there are people who need and want love and affection from her that will feel neglected. And so it's totally okay, to nurture yourself and to lick your wounds and to do your healing, like, no healing is happening. Just be careful that in the process of doing so that you're not creating wounds for others that may need you. Your possible outcome if you continue on your current path, then I've already given you the spiel before, so blah, blah, blah. If you don't like it, do something different. But this is what's likely to happen if you keep making the same type of decisions that you have been making. This is a good thing. Kind of. I mean, I guess really it depends. I mean, when I read this originally, I'm seeing, this is, the emperor is, of course, the mate to the empress. And so, a capable counterpart, somebody who can run a kingdom or whatever. But also this can indicate like a controlling man, especially since I don't see you as the empress here. So it's not like a more of a balance thing. This might be somebody who wants to roll in and take charge. This could be somebody who maybe doesn't respect your boundaries as much. Now, there are positives about this person as well. He's very confident, very self-assured. He's got a plan. He's got the steps to achieve the plan. He knows what he's doing. He will make the decisions. He doesn't mean to come off as controlling, or maybe he doesn't. Maybe he realizes he does and just doesn't care because that's not important. He's got a mission to accomplish. And that's fine. But just know that if you get wrapped up in his mission, especially if you're not paying attention because you're distracted, you might find that he's just going to comfortably seat himself in a position of steering this whole operation. And if that's okay with you, there's no issue. But if at some point, that takes you by surprise and you realize, wait a minute, like, this is my life, then just this is something to look out for. There might be somebody who sees an opportunity to maybe gain a little bit more power and control, not necessarily against you directly, but you definitely would be involved in whatever this person's ideas or power plays are. And I would just advise that you don't lose your voice. That's just coming from me, though. I mean, the cards are not advising that. This is just saying it's a possibility. I can draw an advice card. Because, like the Emperor can be a good card. It can be a negative card. And I think that you'll probably know more about any of this than I do because it's your life, not mine. So, to clarify, this is also 5 of winter. So most likely this isn't a positive thing, and don't freak out. This isn't saying this is definitely going to happen. You're screwed and there's nothing you can do, and you already know that. Just look out for somebody who you've moved on, but he hasn't. So this could be somebody who still has some type of an attachment to you, some type of a vendetta, some type of a grudge. There might have been a disagreement or a spat, but it's old and gone, and you've walked away. You've forgotten about it. You're not there anymore. You're not dwelling there. But he, at least to some extent, is still dwelling there. And he is jumping at an opportunity, maybe out of revenge, or maybe not. Maybe he lost this battle and he's sore about it. Maybe the battle was to control you or make your decisions. I don't know. Only you would. But I can tell you that this person most likely doesn't have the best of intentions. They might not have bad intentions. They might just be selfish intentions. They might be thinking only of what they want and see you as an opportunity to get that. And they don't necessarily have your best interests at heart because they are still bitter about something that happened between you before. So just keep that in mind and keep your your ears perked up for any red flags. Anyway, I hope that made sense to you. I love you. I'll see you later. Hopefully